Good Thursday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, we made it over the hump, and we're in the home stretch toward the weekend. Of course, you have your news headlines coming up on this Thursday. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich in today's Entertainment Spotlight. You've been part of my conversation with Lieutenant Joe Kenda of the show American Detective on Discovery Plus. You don't want to miss that. Enjoy today's program. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with their Thursday headlines. In national news, Justice Breyer to retire, giving Biden first court pick. Longtime liberal Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer is retiring, numerous sources said on Wednesday, giving President Joe Biden his first high court opening, which he has pledged to fill with the historic naming of the court's first black woman. Breyer, 83, has been a pragmatic force on a court that has grown increasingly conservative, trying to forge majorities with more moderate justices right and left of center. His retirement will give Biden the chance to name and win confirmation of a replacement before next fall's election, when Republicans could retake the Senate and block future nominees. Democrats are planning a swift confirmation, perhaps even before Breyer officially steps down, which is not expected before summer. He has been a justice since 1994, appointed by President Bill Clinton. Along with the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, he opted not to step down the last time the Democrats controlled the White House and the Senate during Barack Obama's presidency. Ginsburg died in September 2020, and then President Donald Trump filled the vacancy with a conservative Justice Amy Coney Barrett. Breyer's departure won't change the 6-3 conservative advantage on the court, because his replacement will almost certainly be confirmed by a Senate where Democrats have the slimmest majority. It will make conservative Justice Clarence Thomas the oldest member of the court. Thomas turned 74 in June. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said Biden's nominee will receive a prompt hearing in the Senate Judiciary Committee and will be considered and confirmed by the full U.S. Senate with all deliberate speed. A White House decision on a nominee could take several weeks, Biden aides and allies said. Republicans who changed the Senate rules during the Trump era to allow simple majority confirmation of Supreme Court nominees appear resigned to the outcome. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, the top Republican on the Senate Judiciary Committee, said in a statement, "If all Democrats hang together, which I expect they will, they have the power to replace Justice Breyer in 2022 without one Republican vote in support." Liberal interest groups expressed relief. They have been clamoring for Breyer's retirement, concerned about confirmation troubles if Republicans retake the Senate. Justice Breyer's retirement is coming not a moment too soon, but now we must make sure our party remains united in support of confirming his successor, Demand Justice Executive Director Brian Fallon said. Biden's pledge to name the first black woman to the Supreme Court was made during the 2020 presidential campaign. Since he took office a little more than a year ago, he has been focused on increasing racial and ethnic diversity in the lower federal courts. In more national news, U.S. offers no concessions in response to Russia on Ukraine. The Biden administration and NATO told Russia on Wednesday there will be no U.S. or NATO concessions on Moscow's main demands to resolve the crisis over Ukraine. In separate written responses delivered to the Russians, the U.S. and NATO held firm to the alliance's open-door policy for membership, rejected a demand to permanently ban Ukraine from joining, and said allied deployments of troops and military equipment in Eastern Europe are non-negotiable. There is no change, there will be no change, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on Wednesday. Also not up for negotiation will be the U.S. and European response to any Russian invasion of Ukraine, he said, repeating the mantra that any other incursion will be met with massive consequences and severe economic cost. In more national news, vaccine mandate to kick in for first wave of health workers. Healthcare workers in about half the states face a Thursday deadline to get their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine under a Biden administration mandate that will be rolled out across the rest of the country in the coming weeks. While the requirement is welcomed by some, others fear it will worsen already serious staff shortages if employees quit rather than comply. And in some Republican-led states that have taken a stand against vaccine mandates, hospitals and nursing homes could find themselves caught between conflicting state and federal demands. We would like to see staff vaccinated. We think that is the safest option for residents, which is our biggest concern, said the executive director of Voice, a St. Louis County, Missouri nonprofit that works on behalf of nursing home residents. But not having staff is also a really big concern, because the neglect that happens as a result of that is severe and very scary. And finally, in business news, Fed plans to raise rates as soon as March to cool inflation. The Federal Reserve said Wednesday that it will soon be time to start raising interest rates, a key step in reversing pandemic-era policies that have fueled hiring and growth, but also high inflation. The Fed is expected to lift its benchmark short-term rate from zero as soon as March, when it also plans to phase out monthly bond purchases that have been intended to anchor longer-term rates. Chair Jerome Powell said in a news conference that these actions will help prevent high inflation from becoming entrenched, and that the central bank can manage the process in a way that prolongs economic growth and keeps unemployment low. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, take it away.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Time to slow down. Rushing through your day never helps. In fact, it will add to your stress or anxiety. This frustrates you and may even cause you to create an unnecessary accident to wake you up. Slowing down allows you to fully focus your attention on what needs to be done. It allows you to breathe in all of your sensations and experiences. Working at a slower pace helps you to complete your work on time. Plus, you may have time to do something for yourself. Slowing down gives you the opportunity to flow with your natural rhythm throughout your busy day. Let go of the fast-forward pace our society lives, as this will help you to let go of stress and keep your body grounded. Today, take time to slow down and enjoy every moment of your life as you always enjoy the day.
Lieutenant Joe Kenda is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight, right here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Lieutenant Joe Kenda joined me recently on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about the beginning of Season 2 of his show American Detective on Discovery Plus and his career. Is a bit of our conversation.
So I have gotten to know you not only from your show, but also from your books. I should mention that as well. You're a best-selling author, but you've been able to chronicle your career not only on television, but also in print as well. Lieutenant, what has it been like for you to reflect on your career and all you've been able to achieve?
It's been an interesting ride. All the years I worked, no one was ever happy to see me. And now everyone is. It's very bizarre. Now they want my autograph. It's kind of amazing.
I saw an interview you did with People TV, Lieutenant, and you were talking about actually the final season of Homicide Hunter, Lieutenant Joe Kenda, and you were saying you knew it was time because you didn't want to be one of those people who went on too long. I think it really says a lot because, I mean, your shows have been so successful. Where do you think that passion for justice comes from and not for the fame comes from?
The fame has nothing to do with it. It's about, when someone does something unspeakable to someone else, you have two choices. You can remain seated, or you can stand up and do something about it. I stood up, and I'm proud of that.
And you have been able to be an individual that individuals in law enforcement, Lieutenant, have been able to look to as an example. What has that been like for you? Because, again, a lot of us have gotten to know you from seeing your stories brought to life. But what has it been like for you to have people actually in law enforcement who look up to you as an example?
It's the best compliment that I've ever had for anything I've ever done in the entertainment world is that cops like the show because they understand it's the real deal. It's not the invention of some scriptwriter. It's not car chases and gun battles, which rarely ever happen. It is criminal investigation, one foot in front of the other. And that's what they admire about it, and that makes me feel quite good that they think so. I have fans in police departments all over the country.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll have you guys on tomorrow to wrap up this week. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make it a great one.